coming together, sharing what we have basically and what we are proud of, understanding what the others are proud of, you know, and then forging something of a joint community of pride, yeah, which then will encourage us further to figure out avenues of collaboration. That atmosphere that I will cherish the most, probably.
We are here to talk about the recent developments, the past and also the future of the EDUC Alliance. EDUC Alliance has just become 5 years old this autumn. I think it's a wonderful and especially lovely time to look back some of our achievements and look back at the beginning of this alliance, how it is formed. And it's especially interesting to hear your thoughts about this and hear your experiences about the beginning of this University Alliance. What do you remember from the earliest times of this, the formation of this alliance?
I'm happy to be at this table today, and it's a great opportunity to talk with you about these issues. And I can recall a very important phone call, actually, from a good friend and a very important strategic partner for the University of Pécs and for myself as well, the former director of international relations at Masaryk University in Brno, Jan Pavlik, who was actually probably early December 2018, something like that, gave us a phone call, called me, and actually explained, you know, the alliance information kind of idea, the consortium information idea about EDUC of the time. Of course, he first asked me about whether or not we had been looking into basically the new call by the European Commission in terms of the European Universities Initiative, and what's our, you know, ideas and aspirations were about, you know, joining or forming anything, and if or not we wanted to join this alliance information in the making. And it was pretty quick. It was a very quick decision, you know, by the rector and the leadership of the university right before Christmas. Right, let me tell you, that Pécs would love to join EDUC, which of course meant that we needed to put in our, you know, thoughts and also, you know, jointly figure out which work package, what kind of tasks we will basically lead or coordinate. So we needed to figure that out in those weeks, so that the application became a firm and, you know, convincing one. And I really can recall, you know, the very intensive couple of weeks. I personally and some colleagues needed to work on that application without Christmas anyway. but of course it was a lovely Christmas after all, because we won it, and we were so happy to join the alliance actually.
5 years has passed since then. How do you see the alliance evolved during this time? You know,
we heard about a grand vision, and I think that vision is still in place, and that focuses on how European universities, via the alliances within these strategic alliance structures, can be acting as transformative actors, which then will help, which is not only a buzzword but really a strategic goal for the entire European Union and Europe, to be able to contribute to the global competitiveness of Europe and the EU, basically. And of course, in our case, the higher education sector, research and innovation, and so on and so forth. So I think that grand vision is still a driving kind of point of reference. But at the same time, everybody is now interested in the tangible results and how you can manifest that vision basically on a daily basis. And over the past 5 years, that's what I personally can see, for instance, in EDUC. But also, you know, looking closer some of the other European university alliances, yeah, I can see that this has been progressing at a pace that is good enough, yeah, because, you know, we have to come together from various different university cultures, from various different socializations, and come together, agree upon very strategic issues, how we then can serve tens of years of strategic thinking in the longer run that we foresee. So, that has been progressing really well with tangible results once again, and more such manifestations are expected to come, I think.
One of the core aspirations of EDUC and all the university alliances is to building bridges, to connect students, teachers, researchers, or just university staff. In your opinion, what is EDUC's strongest bridge or connection?
I think building bridges is truly an EDUC phenomenon, and of course, we interpret it in that way, which is perfectly fine, because we were coming up over the years how these bridges can be visualized in our mental map, and then make it real, of course, on a daily basis. And others have been doing similar things, obviously, because connecting things is the most important idea, I guess. Especially when we live in a very transnational, global kind of international relations context all across, where we see that connectivity of this kind, interconnections, basically, cross-connections matter the most. So in EDUC's case, concerning our bridges, I think number one is that the administrations connect the best. Let that be the leaderships of these universities, the presidents, directors, as well as the international offices. And you go all across these university structures where you will see the units that basically run the institution. Units that basically will contribute to more opportunities for the teaching staff, researchers, students, and so on and so forth. Let that be the libraries, as a matter of fact, concerning open science and so many other aspects of that. And I think that over the past 5 years, came the closest together, upon which other bridges can be built. And at the same time, I think parallel to that, what is, from my understanding, is the second, strongest, as you asked, strongest bridge, is certainly among the teaching staff, coming closer together, putting together joint courses of all kind, because, we, of course, especially under the pressures of the post-pandemic period, we needed to come up with innovations. We needed to come up with hybrid solutions, a lot of digital solutions, basically. And I personally, I'm so proud of the course catalog we have and the teaching journey and so on. So, these are achievements that are very EDUC achievements and can help build further bridges, I think, over the coming years.
Add another bridge to this. A significant sub-project of the EDUC has been launched this year called EDUC-WIDE, with missions like reforming research assessment, open science, research and innovation culture, and a more in-depth involvement of our associated partners. How do you see this sub-project will contribute to the overall mission of EDUC?
One of the most fundamental questions I think you have raised, and that is how to really strengthen, as I call it, the EDUC universe. Okay, because all these alliances have been building up their own universes. Yeah, and in our case, this is the EDUC universe, where we have, of course, the strategic EDUC framework, and of course, there are a lot of questions and challenges in terms of how we can make all our universities forming this alliance come together in a sense of a new legal entity at a certain point. Yeah, of course, not forgetting who we are and where we come from, where we operate in our regional ecosystems. So basically, the University of Pécs will stay as it is, as part of the alliance, but still we should come together and forge the alliance in that way that we have also one legal entity also representing the alliance. So in that respect, I think in this universe, a lot of important sub-projects, as you said, have been successful so far. And amongst those, you can find still within Erasmus Plus capacity building projects focusing on positive economy and for instance, using the Horizon grants, EDUC Share, which I think was a really great confirmation of a lot of research-focused EDUC aspirations. And now we have EDUC-WIDE, widening, of course, and also deepening all our aspirations. and also involving in all these areas, which I would not pick any of them, by the way, because for the regional ecosystems of all of ours, all would matter a lot in terms of making EDUC available, not just within the university, but also from an external perspective, in the macro regions as well. So probably the regions can also come closer together. But of course, sharing research in such a manner is of utmost importance for any researcher. And I am a social scientist, so of course that matters a lot to me in that sense. But widening also and embracing a larger European context, and in our case involving a Ukrainian partner, is even more important. And I really wish the best for that kind of collaborative efforts, that they can become more integral part of this university alliance system in Europe.
And just to connect to this, broadening our impact and broadening our perspectives, how do you see the evolving European higher education landscape? If you look at it now, we have almost 64 university alliances working together. How do you see this will impact our perspective when we look at the higher education map of Europe?
Probably the vision is transforming into this manifestation of making Europe more visible. Because when we talk about the future in terms of becoming more competitive globally, number one is that you have to be more visible. And you have to show your strength in a more visible and convincing manner. So when you come together, 8 of us, and even more with the associated partners, then that's a collaborative effort to show the world what we have. And all the other alliances would do the same. So basically, what we can do now is to share good practices and best practice projects. So I do think that it does have a meaning to have inter-alliance collaborations all around. And I was so happy that we organized a very important staff week, a training program focusing on community building. Also, within our alliance, everybody was here, that's fine. But also we had, over a dozen other alliances which came to Page and actually were represented and participated and shared their experiences in the same field. These experience sharing as well as best practice sharing methods can boost further, I guess, European competitiveness.
Currently, we are at the midterm reporting phase. This is a great opportunity to take a look at our progress. What milestones are you the most proud of so far?
Definitely what I have already mentioned, I would like to go back to that point, and that is connected to our course catalog over the many years and the teaching journey, and basically how we could encourage our teaching staff members to come closer together and start working together in a different manner. Yeah, it's not only visiting, each other for a week or so, which Erasmus fostered over the many decades, basically, of its existence. That is absolutely crucial. That is a fundamental thing. I love it. But it's much more than that. So using all sorts of digital tools, techniques, hybrid methodologies, innovations, and so on, that is what we have been building, again, as bridges, in the form of joint courses, in the form of courses that are available now across the Alliance. So interesting, yeah? Also fostering multilingualism at the same time. Also fostering, the twinning project, in terms of, helping each other in different languages to cultivate more understanding about that given culture and so on. And one more thing I'd like to add, and that is basically how students actually are targeted and how students feel that they are targeted and they are encouraged to participate. Let me tell you that a couple of weeks ago, as part of the rotating presidency of the Council of the European Union in Budapest, because Hungary holds now that position for half a year, I participated in an important meeting, and that was basically connected to the DG Higher Educations all around in the Commission as well as in all the member states, where I could present EDUC as an alliance. And at that meeting, it was so importantly underscored that students and the student boards in the alliances, and we must be proud of EDUC because, the European side and the European Student Union actually came up with EDUC as an example of that kind of activism of the students were highlighted. And I think that can offer a lot more for the years to come, to involve the students much more in the governance structures as well as in the innovative methods, how they think that such European university conglomerates should work for their sake as well and for their aspirations.
This year, I mentioned before, we celebrating this 5th anniversary of EDUC. If you had just one memory to share, which you will carry with you regarding EDUC, what would it be?
Definitely the first initial meetings in pitch and all across. But as long as we were in charge of organizing the best meeting, of course, to kick it off, of course, you really focused all your efforts on making it the best ever possible. And yeah, we wanted to share, of course, our culinary delights as well. But I think that kind of coming together, sharing what we have basically and what we are proud of, understanding what the others are proud of, and then forging something of a joint community of pride, which then will encourage us further to figure out avenues of collaboration. That atmosphere that I will cherish the most, probably. Yeah.
Well, thank you much for your insights and your experiences. I think all of this will contribute highly to look ahead, to build this alliance a more stronger community. And I hope that we'll be able to do this again in the future and continue.
Thank you.
Thank you very
so
much.
Happy birthday, Edu, right?
Happy birthday.
Thank you so much.